Did you know that the Norwegian government wants you to be a prepper? Well, they wouldn't use the word prepper, but basically what they're saying is just that, you know, that they want you to be prepared, and I have actually I've written out well, I have written out this brochure here from the Norwegian Directorate for Civil Protection. It says, you are part of Norway's emergency preparedness. They are saying straight out that one of the situations that one of the emergency situations that you should prepare for is a nuclear emergency. And we almost had that a few years ago with the Chernobyl disaster. I was 13 years at the time, and I can remember we were sitting watching the news, and they were following that. The way I remember it is that it was a cloud of nuclear, a radioactive cloud. You know, I was 13 as I said, and I can't remember exactly, but it was moving up through Eastern Europe and then up northeast of Norway, and it would have moved into Norway as well if the wind hadn't shifted. So the wind blew all the waste away from Norway, you know, at the last minute, so to speak. But still, it did hit the very north of Norway, and we still have, hold on, I've made some other notes as well. We still have, this was in 1986, and there are still 37 Norwegian counties. They still have to monitor the radiation levels in their livestock, their farm animals. So yeah, but they don't say that's the only disaster that could happen. It says here that yeah, they list there storms, natural disasters, sabotage, technical problems, terrorism or acts of war could result in power outage or a cut-off of water supply. In a state of emergency, it may also be difficult to get hold of essential goods. A major event or crisis will affect society, and many people will be in need of help. If a larger part of the population is able to take care of themselves and those around during an emergency, immediate help is more likely to reach those who need it most first. In this way, you make a part of Norway's emergency preparedness. So what they're saying is they won't have time to help you unless you're unless you're dying, or you know, that's what they're saying. We are requesting all households in Norway to take a few simple steps to improve their own emergency preparedness. Here we describe the basic things to remember, with examples on how you can remain self-sustained for at least 3 days if a disaster or crisis occurs. I know they are saying 3 days not because they think that's enough, but because they believe that it's better than nothing, and most people can manage to stock up on what they need for 3 days. Okay, so here's the list. 9 liters of water per person. 2 packs of crisp bread per person, 1 pack of oat porridge per person, 3 boxes of canned food or 3 bags of dried food per person, 3 boxes of sandwich spreads or jam with long shelf life per person, a few bags of dried fruit or nuts, biscuits and chocolate, any medication that you are dependent on, stove for heating, wood, gas or paraffin, gas-fueled grill or cooker, candles, flashlight with batteries, paraffin lamp, matches or lighter, warm clothes, blankets and sleeping bags, first aid kit, battery-powered DAB radio, batteries, battery bank and mobile charger for the car, wet wipes and disinfectant, paper towels and toilet paper, cash, that's an interesting one, extra fuel and wood, gas, paraffin, denatured alcohol for heating and cooking, iodine tablets in case of a nuclear event. Yeah. So, was that all? Yeah. So I have with me here the sort of iodine tablets that they want you to keep in your home. We call it jod in Norway. This is iodine, 130 milligrams. If you take one of these, you will not feel well. This is to avoid it's the pancreas, to avoid cancer in your pancreas. I think that's the English word. And it will help people, I think, below the age of 40. When you're more than 40 years old, normally you're not at risk. I've asked around with my, friends and family, and nobody has these high-strength iodine tablets at home. I think they should. Long before I read this, and long before Norwegian officials went out, publicly in the news, and they said, this is, I think, only months ago, and they said, we want everyone to be prepared and go to our website, and you'll find a list there, and go and buy those things if you don't have them already. That's what they said, and I think, I can't remember who said it, but it was one of the officials said that we want everyone to stock up on iodine because of the submarines that we suspect are patrolling along the coastline, and if there is an accident there, I imagine that these big nuclear submarines that they carry, the potential they carry a lot of, no, I don't know, but it's probably quite, that would be a very serious threat. So here's the funny part. When I talk about this, still people think I'm a bit crazy. So I'll read this part as well. Being prepared for an emergency is not only about what you have, it is about what you know too. Yeah. Yes, that's why we do bushcraft. No, it's not really the only reason, but one of the reasons. Think about what could happen where you live. Yes, I live right on the coast. So those submarines, we don't like those submarines. So yeah, think about what might affect yourself and those around you in case of an emergency. We in my family, we don't need any medicine. No one is using any medicine except my dog. So my dog, we have stocked up on medicine for her, actually. and dog food, obviously. It didn't say dog food on this list here, or cat food, you know. It should, because so many people have pets, so and they need to be, you know, taken care of and fed as well. But maybe they're thinking that, you know, you buy like a bag of dog food, so that will last at least 3 extra days. So I don't know. Make a plan for how you can handle an emergency together. Yeah, that's a key word right there, together. I'm not a big fan of the mentality that you should, you know, leave everything and everyone and fend for yourself. It's not realistic for most people, and I think there are lots of people actually who could do that, that they have the knowledge and the determination, the grit, but you know, you don't want to leave your family, and most people, they are part of a family. So find out whether anyone around you needs help and how you might contribute. Yeah, that's important as well. Make sure that the equipment you plan to use in an emergency is in good working order and that you know how to use it. And some telephone numbers. And there's an interesting one here. It's the normal ones, you know, fire and rescue, police, to call for the ambulance. And there is one here called emergency room. That is interesting. Okay, so there you have it. Norway is asking, Norway wants everyone to be preppers, basically. Okay, that's my video for today. I'll continue on my little hike. I hope you found this interesting. I certainly did when I first found out. Luckily I did already keep most of those items in my house, but actually the thing with the iodine was I was not prepared on that part there, so I went and bought those iodine tablets. Okay, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.